In this video, we'll take a look at what kind of blue loadout 275 euros can get you in July of 2025. That includes all essential skins, which means that there won't be a skin for every gun. However, those that are most commonly played are included, even a knife. There are also agents for T and CT side in the lineup. Prices I mention refer to the cheapest listing I've been able to find on CS Float. Let's get started. On T side, this month's pick is the Glock Ocean Topo in factory new, which currently runs at 85 cents on CS Float. If you feel like this skin is too boring for your taste, you could add a few stickers, for example the Copenhagen 2024 ADMS Hollow, which costs around €2.40 a piece on CS Float. If that's too expensive for you, there are both a glitter and a paper version of the sticker that cost quite a bit less than the Hollow. Next up, there are the Dual Elites Urban Shock. As they scratch pretty easily, I would recommend that you go with minimal wear, which currently sit at around €3.77 on CS Float. The next item on the list is the P250 Valence in factory new, currently sitting at €1. Unfortunately, there isn't an abundance of blue P250 skins, and the Valence is the only one that would fit the budget of this loadout. Again, feel free to sticker it up to your liking. Following the P250 is the Tech 9. There are two options here. First up, you could get the Tech 9 Blue Blast in factory new, which currently costs you around 35 cents on CS Float. It looks a bit plastic, but if it doesn't bother you, you get a nicely fitting skin for cheap here. The second option is the Tech 9 Blue Titanium. It will cost you around €2.88 in factory new. If you prefer the metallic finish, you should definitely go with this one. Moving on to the city side of things, the USPS Royal Guard looks high class while not being too expensive. In a low field tested float between 0.15 and 0.20, it will set you back around €9.28. For the 5.7, we go with the Sky Blue. While it shares a bit of the plastic look of the Tech 9 Blue Blast, it is significantly cheaper than a heat-treated or case-hardened with lots of blue at just 74 cents in factory new. We finished the pistols with the Desert Eagle. Here, the most affordable option I was able to come up with is a field-tested heat-treated. With a blue value of 50% or more, they look decent and cost you around €70.97 on CS Float. If you don't like the look of the Desert Eagle Heat Treated, you could also look into the Desert Eagle Night Heist, which currently sits at €18.04 in factory new. While you might be able to get away with saving a few euros, the Desert Eagle Night Heist scratches very easily, and you will definitely see the wear clearly if you choose to go with anything below factory new. Our loadout continues with the SMGs. Here I've picked the OG Mac 10 Indigo on T side. Similar to some of our earlier picks, stickers are your friend with this skin if you don't like blue alone. This Mac 10 will cost you around €3.64 in a low field tested float between 0.15 and 0.20. For the CT side, there's a budget option and a better looking option, at least in my mind. If you're looking to spend as little as possible, you could go with the MP9 Buff Blue, which comes in at 31 cents in factory new. If, however, you're looking for something that's a bit nicer to look at, you could go with the factory new MP9 Cobalt Paisley, which currently costs €5.52 on CS Float. I really like the intricate pattern here, although I would imagine that it might not fit everybody's taste. With that being said, we're moving on to the rifles. On T side, we have the Galil Stone Cold in factory new, costing you somewhere around €8.19. If you prefer a cheaper option, you could also look into the Galil Blue Titanium, which is sitting at €3.74. Now with the AK, it gets a bit more difficult. The only real option here seems to be the AK Blue Laminate in minimal wear, which currently costs around €12.84. And oh boy, do we need stickers here. I've gone with the Zero Zonation Hollows from the Rio Major. They nicely cover the blank main part of the AK and connect the bump and grip. However, they will set you back around €5.08 a piece, so they aren't exactly cheap if you want to get 5 of them. If you find other combos that fit well here, let me know in the comments, because honestly, I was at a bit of a loss here. Moving over to the city side, let me introduce my pick for the FAMAS. The FAMAS Yeti Camo in minimal wear can be found at around €3.61 at the moment. Even though it also has a lot of white, I still think it fits quite well with the blue theme of the loadout. For the M4A1S, I've chosen the Decimator in a low field tested float. Admittedly, it's not a blue phosphor, but on the plus side, it won't cost you an arm and a leg at around €14.13. The M4A4 is much easier to decide with the Emperor and its deep blue color at around €11.25 in field tested. The exact float doesn't matter as much with this skin, as it retains a lot of its colors and design, even with worse field tested floats. Although I personally strongly dislike the Scout, for most people the SSG is a must-have in an Essentials loadout. I've picked the SSG Abyss in minimal wear, being a good fit with just 56 cents for this budget-friendly loadout. If any of you Scout enjoyers out there have any other recommendations here, feel free to share your ideas in the comments. Rounding out the rifle lineup at the upper end of the price scale is the AWP Sun and Leo factory new, which currently costs you around 30 euros. This one too scratches really easily, unfortunately, but if you don't mind a few scratches in favor of saving a few euros, you might be content with a minimal wear option. Although there isn't really a blue T-side agent, I feel like the Phoenix Enforcer fits rather well with the blue looks of the other skins and is still quite cheap at 4.85 euros. On city side, on the other hand, there's quite a lot of choices to pick from. I've decided to go with the Sous Lieutenant Medic Gendarmerie Nationale, pardon my French. He currently comes in at around 8.30 euros on CS Float. Last but not least, let's take a look at available knife choices. There are 3 options that I found that could be a fit for this budget and loadout. Obviously, any Doppler Phase 3 or 4 or Sapphire would be the best choice for this loadout, however, that's not an option within the budget. That's why I've decided to show you these 3. First up, we have the Shadow Daggers Blue Steel and Minimal Wear that currently go for 104.92 euros. If you don't mind the look of the butt plugs, as they are lovingly called by the community, this could be your choice. Second on the list, we've got the Survival Knife Blue Steel in Well Worn. They currently cost around 111.89 euros, and I must say, regardless of the wear, I feel like CS2 has treated Blue Steel finishes rather well. The last option on the list would be a Paracord Knife Night Stripe in Minimal Wear, which comes in at around 116.34 euros. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Paracord knives, but I've noticed more and more people playing them, so I thought I might as well include one. Obviously, you can spend a lot more, but I think even with this budget, you can get quite a nice loadout already. Let me know what you think of these skins in the comments below. Do you already have your loadout complete, or are you looking for a change? If you have an idea for a loadout, post it in the comments and I might pick it up in a future loadout video. Remember to like and subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, so long, see ya.